What's better than a moisturizing massage bar that will also help you sleep?
Lotion bars, massage bars, whatever you may call them, bee bars, is basically equal amounts of beeswax, your plant butter, and your oil. Now I like, when I buy my beeswax, I like to get it in the pastels because beeswax is really hard to cut and measure. And when I get my cocoa butter, I like to get it in the little wafers because it too is very hard to cut and measure. And I like to use grapeseed oil. Now, jojoba oil might be a better thing for you.
Now, 1 ounce of beeswax or cocoa butter weighed by weight will be about 2 ounces by volume each. Now, when you weigh the grapeseed oil or the jojoba oil, that's still going to be about 1 ounce by volume.
Of course, you want your mold. Now, I have melted I've gotten a double boiler of water. I've melted my oils and butters here in this little container, and I've kind of let it cool off for about a minute. And then I'm going to add about a teaspoon of vitamin E, because your oils, your butters, and your beeswax does not need a preservative because it has no water in it. But it can go rancid. So I'm adding a little vitamin E to it, and I want to stir that in while it's still pretty warm. And then I'm going to add my essential oils and or fragrance, whatever you require to use. This is going to be a sleep formula. So I'm going to use some frankincense and lavender. So I'm going to put in 1/4 teaspoon of lavender. And then I'm going to use 1/8 teaspoon of frankincense. Now, frankincense does not have a real strong aroma. People kind of associate it with the heavier scents like sandalwood and cedar and stuff like that because it's pretty often combined with it.
Now, I really went a little overboard with the vitamin E, but it's so good for your skin, you can use a little too much. You need 500 international units per 8 ounce of product. Vitamin E comes in different strengths, so you really have to read your labels to see how much vitamin E is in your bottle. Some essential oils are more aggressive than the others. Many essential oils used too heavily, including lavender, will have the opposite effect and will be stimulating instead of relaxing. Now, a general guideline is 1/8 to 1/4 teaspoon per 1 ounce of formula, or 2 to 3% of the formula. Now, WholesaleSuppliesPlus.com has a fragrance calculator that gives you good general guidelines. And for lavender, they recommend 3% of the lotion bar formula. Now, for this particular recipe, they would recommend about 2.5 grams for this recipe. And the grams is always better to weigh and get a bit, especially if you want to be more consistent each time, is to use grams. And this is their link to their calculator.
Now I want to get this stirred pretty quick because it's going to start hardening on my container about as fast as I can stir it and mix it up. So let's get our mold there. You can already see where it's starting to harden on the side of the bowl. And let me just fill this up. And you can see where it has already started hardening. Now I can, put this back over my water and kind of melt it back down and fill that up. I'm going to let it sit here till it sets up, because if I try to move it, I'm going to have massage butter all over the place. But once it sets up enough to move it, I'm going to put it in the refrigerator and let it set for at least an hour. I left my massage bar in the refrigerator on for a little over an hour, and let's see how they came out. Now I think these are absolutely beautiful, but will they help me get to sleep tonight?
Now this massage bar will be super moisturizing. Now I chose cocoa butter wafers with its natural scent. I did not choose cocoa butter that comes deodorized. The aroma of cocoa butter itself is relaxing and calming. Now I could have chosen to use the maximum amount of the essential oils, 2.5 grams of a combination of lavender and frankincense, but strong scents give me a headache. It's all a matter of what works for you. There are countless formulas out there. I could have simply just used lavender or just simply used chamomile. Now, if you enjoy making your own natural skincare, check out my books on Amazon, Natural Skincare Workbook with links to YouTube videos. It comes both in Kindle and paperback. Like, subscribe, and share. And get this recipe in my description bar. And you can support my channel by following links for my book, Ingredients for Making Massage Bars.